Amir Khan is an indie pop singer-songwriter and a producer. At just 22, he has released quite a few singles and his EP, all of which has gained him millions and millions of views and streams all around the world. I stumbled upon Damir's work in 2017 and almost instantly became a fan. Beyond his nostalgic tunes, Damir's music videos are cinematic and a joy to watch on a personal level. Damir also comes from a very illustrious family. His father and his uncles founded Renaissance, or Renaissance, a legendary Bangladeshi band from the 80s. In this episode, we talk about his journey, his identity as a musician, and how he utilizes his community to become a better creator and a better musician. Damir is also big on the use of social media to promote art, which is always an interesting take these days, and we also dive deep into that side of things. Now, because this was a sit-down podcast, which I haven't done in a while, this had some initial issues at the first half of the show, but it all evens out by the end. So I hope it's not too distracting. This podcast was recorded early in 2023, and the artwork and animation was done by the ever-talented Ahmed Fahim. And without further ado, here is Season 3, Episode 11 of State of the Creators featuring Damir. Hope you enjoy the show. This is the State of the Creators, a show about creative individuals who are on a quest to build something out of nothing. Making moves.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a crazy year because I'm actually graduating from uni this summer. So I'm finally a free man. After this, I have to deal with the bureaucratic weight of being in a different country as a Bangladeshi. কিন্তু এটা হয়ে যাবে, এটার ব্যাপারে আমার কোনো tension নাই. কিন্তু I'll be able to come back to Dhaka way more. Yeah, man, 2023 is going to be great.
I do have a question. So talk to me about your choice of colors for your profile pictures.
Whoa.
Start off.
Thank you so much for asking me.
Even like before you release songs,
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
everyone's profile pictures changing. So, okay, that's a new Damir single's coming out.
Exactly.
Or it could be, I don't know, some sort of other code signal that I have no idea about. But for your specific single, you've done it twice now. One was
I think we've done it 3 times actually. We did it for Basham Halo, What Love Meant, and It'll Be Alright.
Right. So
the last 3 releases we've done
Shade of Blue, there was yellow, and
there was like a pink
thing, right?
Yeah.
What do they mean? Why?
So we actually took a page out of the NFT book. So you know, you buy an NFT, you have it verified on your profile picture, and then it's like a flex.
Right.
So we're like, so screw all of the like classist, that part of that stuff. Like, but the idea behind it is that like your page, your profile is fashion too. Just the way you wear clothes, like how you present your page is a fashion. You present yourself in a fashionable way. So your profile picture, it's what everybody sees. People see your profile picture more often than they see you.
Right.
You know, so we tried this first with, I think with Basham Halo. And so the idea was that like, if you have, so it's the color is going to be a part of the artwork. Mm-hmm. But the audience doesn't know that. So we release a color. I change my profile picture to that. Yeah. And I say that anyone who has this profile picture, I'll follow you back.
Got it.
So what happens is like I engage with my fans immediately. Like after I follow them back, it's like, they can just text me with anything like that. It like creates this, it destroys the whole, like
middleman culture.
Exactly. Like, it goes direct to the artist. And the other effects is that like it shows that you're a Damir fan and you're proud to be a Damir fan. It shows that there's a new Damir song coming, which you just said.
Yep.
And the other interesting thing about it is that like it's one of those things where it's like once a few people do it, more people sort of join in. And once more people do it, even more people join in and stuff like that. So it keeps growing like that. It's more like we create the artwork for the song and then we pick a color from the artwork after.
Got it. Cool. Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know who Damir is, what's the elevator pitch?
What's the elevator pitch? Well, I'm a singer-songwriter producer. Mm-hmm. I write a lot about love and distance because I think distance is one of the greatest tests for love. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to like pigeonhole myself into a genre. I make all sorts of things, but it's usually things that will make you feel warm inside.
Cool. This is a very good, like 30 seconds spiel. Especially the last part because it's freaking cold where we are right now. A bit of warmth. Cold,
yeah. Nothing compared to where I usually live right now because I'm doing uni in Montreal and it's literally snowstorming right now. But this is still pretty cold because I came when it was still warmer and now I'm like legit super cold. So it's like 17 degrees.
So is it actually, like that's a meme? Like the whole, I live in Canada, it's not as cold as Canada, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is it actually, like do you actually feel less cold when you come here?
Winter in Montreal will make you like lose faith. Yeah, like question life. Like it will make you like, but at the same time, it's also really interesting because it's like, why would anybody set up civilization in such an inhumane climate? So it sort of makes you like, you're kind of impressed.
I mean, I'm from Australia where everything's trying to kill you. So
yeah, okay, yeah. That I think I'll be more scared about, like critters and stuff. Seriously? I'll put on a puffer
over snow.
Dude, snow's sometimes magical. Like I'll be out there. Like this was the last time I was in Montreal. Or I think it was the time before, actually. This is the second time I'm seeing snow. My first year in Montreal was like last year. First time I ever saw it like snow. Yeah. So I thought I was in Narnia, bro. So I was like
3 EPs right there. Just
exactly. Christmas album coming.
But with critters and spiders, not so much.
Yeah, that would be
less magic.
Creatively stifling, if anything.
Unless you need some sort of death metal.
Or if you find some like a hallucinogenic toad.
I haven't tried licking a spider yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
Let me know. Send me a message when you...
Well, look, was music always going to happen for you?
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, you come from such an illustrious family background.
Very creative family, but like I was trash at everything else. Can I swear on this?
You can swear.
I was shit at everything else. I was horrible. I hated school. I love football. I'm really, really passionate about football, and I got better at playing it as I grew older. But for most of my life, I was like very unfit, very unathletic. I've been a massive football fan from a young age, but I could never get into the team and stuff like that. So music was the one thing where from the beginning, I'm like, this is mine.
Right.
Like I can do this. Like when I first went to I am mostly self-taught.
Yep.
But in my first few years, I went to some guitar classes to learn the basics, and
that too from a legendary
musician. From Labu Rahman,
from Feedback,
legendary guitarist of Feedback, and legendary human being, one of the nicest human beings I've ever known. I am so thankful for the teachers that I've had in my life because I've had some really, really great teachers. But I would go to guitar class and it's like we would have like chords to learn, and like people would come back and like show like I've learned these chords.
Yeah,
I would make a song with them.
Wow.
Immediately I was like, they're giving me tools to play with.
Right.
And I just loved it from the beginning. It had to be music, man. And it's weird to see everything happening right now because this is exactly what I've wanted my entire life.
It's great.
It's kind of trippy because it's like I didn't actually expect this. Like, you hype yourself up to get yourself places and to make yourself do good work, but in reality I was just like there's a very slim chance of this working out. And this hasn't like worked out, like this is going well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say this is working out because I've just started. So let's see how I am in 5 years, 10 years. But I'm super happy with how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, your dad, your uncles, they both founding members of Vanessa again, a legendary Bangladeshi band from the 80s. I actually played with on stage with your father
when they went to Australia.
Yeah,
nice.
I was on stage. I was supporting the guitar for the band, and honestly, I've done a lot of live shows.
Yeah,
but when I played with your dad and your uncle, so Pidu Bhai and Nuki Bhai, it was an experience that I can't explain.
Wow.
Not so much because they're just a big name or anything like that, but just musically, creatively, they're on a wavelength that I've never seen.
There's no one like them.
Exactly.
There's no one comes close. Like and I completely took this for granted growing up.
Yeah. Because you grew up in it. Like
because I grew up, I thought it was cringe. I was like, কেন আবার হতে নিচ্ছে ভার্ড ভালো লাগে জোসনা রাতে ট্রিলিয়ন টাইমস আমি আমার বন্ধুর সাথে বাসায় গিয়ে ফিফা খেলতে চাই now as I grow older every day I grow older I'm like whoa I was lucky I was so fortunate because I got to see masters at work and the older I grow the more I like recreationally listen to Renaissance music. Like now I used to like not listen to them at all because like why would I listen to my dad's dude I'm gonna listen to some Linkin Park. But like I listen to so much Renaissance music now, and also they're really, really, really nice, simple people. Like my dad and everybody in the band are like just really calm, collected, just
super human beings.
Yeah, dude. And I think like I'm pretty like energetic. Like my mom's a very energetic person. I think I get that much from her. My personality is a lot more like my mom. I'm very talkative and very energetic and very extroverted. But the calmness, everything, it was a big lesson from my dad to like just stay calm in every situation. He's always calm. This man never panics.
I mean, you mentioned that you are going to graduate hopefully this year. So that means obviously you're studying at McGill.
I'm studying at McGill. I'm studying political science and economics. And I love it.
And so why that decision, knowing the fact that you just mentioned you had school, you didn't really like it, you were always eventually going to be or have some part with music to play in your life. Why the decision to still go ahead with something that's not even remotely close to anything creative?
Well, a number of reasons. First among being my music wasn't popping that much when I was applying to uni. So I was still under the presumption that like, let's see how this goes. The other thing is that like I have Bangladeshi parents. So
there you go.
I'm studying something with job security. After now, as I'm reaching the end of my degree, I'm very happy I took that decision. I'm very, very happy.
Awesome.
I'm a wiser human being. I'm a better person because of it, and I am very, 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 very passionate about Poli-Science. Almost as passionate as I am about music.
So that presents a question: if you had to choose one or the other, given let's say two equally lucrative careers, in front of you, and you had to pick one or the other, you'd say you're safe money-wise, you're safe, I don't know, fame, credibility, all that, both equal on both sides. Which one would you pick?
Music. Without a doubt. But politics is not done by politicians.
Right.
Politics is done by leaders, I think. And anyone can become a leader. If you are influencing people and you're influencing how a place works, then you're, you're doing politics. But when you grow up in Bangladesh, you're desensitized to a lot of things. And you're also like, especially then if you are fortunate enough and privileged enough to be able to go to a country that is developed and to study and potentially live and stuff like that, like I have been in Canada. You also feel very like isolated, alienated in a weird way because everything is so functional there and everything is just so perfect there, and but like after I'd left Bangladesh and especially after I started doing my poli-sci degree, I've learned so much more about the world and so many other countries that have been through very similar things that we have been through and have figured it out. So many things that we have figured out that we're not giving ourselves the credit for that other countries have not figured out. And it also set my expectations for Bangladesh. Because I have extremely high expectations for Bangladesh because I think we're an amazing country with amazing people, with really smart, really hardworking, really passionate people. And it set my expectations because it takes time. It takes time. My dad is 10 years older than Bangladesh, so it's like, it takes time. We'll get there eventually.
I think that's such a crazy perspective to have. Like, your dad's... It's like our parents are older than Bangladesh.
They're older than our country. Give us some time. Things are not working as smoothly as we'd want them to. But with time, we will figure it out. And I have so much faith in our youth. So much. And especially, I see a lot of people we had a lot of brain drain. A lot of people leave the country. We're seeing a lot of people come back now because they're realizing that it's cool to be Bangladeshi. It's hot to be Bangladeshi. It's cool. It's not, but like not in a trendy way. I think in a sincere way because we are not trendy. Let's face it. We are not trendy yet. I'm trying to make us trendy. I would very much like to see us trendy. We're not trendy yet, but like we'll get there. But a lot of people are starting to see the sheer amount of potential and they're coming back and they're bringing everything they're learning from abroad and they're bringing it back here. So I have immense faith in our future.
No, that's cool. Has there ever been like a, what do you call it? Like a overlap between, I guess there probably isn't, but has there ever been an overlap between what you're studying and music in some ways that have you kind of taken some discipline from what you're doing at uni in the music world? Or
not quite in terms of the songwriting itself. Or maybe it'll take some time for that to kick in because I'm still doing this degree and it's like if I'm studying all day, the last thing I want to do is like include some of it into my music. I want to write about something else. But this journey has undeniably changed me fundamentally. I'm a changed human being after learning about poli-sci and economics. I see the world through a much wider lens now. Studying poli-sci has a really humbling effect. Because you learn about war and conflict and this and that. You see how ideas on how we should organize ourselves as a society change throughout the years, and it's really, really humbling because it makes you feel really small, and it makes you feel really hopeful because you see how much every country has changed,
right? And
in the grand scheme of things, anything is possible. So I think it may kick in with my music. It's definitely kicked in my personality and what I'm interested in, and it's made me also like a lot prouder to be Bangladeshi. Right. Because now when I think about the liberation war and I think about the situation we were in, and I see where we are now, it is beyond remarkable.
Right.
And we say a lot of this stuff and we see a lot of the headlines and stuff. Bangladesh is this much growth, that much growth and everything. But until I learned about the case studies of other countries and stuff like that, I didn't quite realize how remarkable we are. We are really, really, really remarkable. It's crazy what we've done.
Fair. I think you probably have a better perspective than I, because I haven't studied Poli-Science.
What did you study?
Architecture.
Architecture?
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to be an architect for the longest time.
Yeah, I would think so with your creative outlet, but I mean, we did study the parliament, the সংসদ Bhavan.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Everything that Louis Khan touched was gorgeous.
Exactly. Beautiful.
One thing I wanted to kind of continue on that trend of thoughts is the idea of representation in the diaspora, because it feels like because you were in Malaysia
for like 4 years.
4 years. 4 years. Yeah, so from Bangladesh to Malaysia, and then you moved to Canada to study, right?
Yep. I was in Africa for a little bit.
That's right. I remember.
I was in Ghana for
right before or during the coronavirus.
During and right before I went to Canada. Yeah,
that's right. So throughout the whole process, so how much of, I guess, representation that you've seen, and it seems like you've kind of taken on yourself to actually represent a lot of yourself and your identity through the music in these places, right?
Yeah, it's weird because again, like me personally and me as a songwriter are sometimes two different things, and sometimes they overlap and sometimes they don't. I personally, as a human being, I would love to represent. I would love to be an ambassador. It's all important. That's so important to me, and we'll get into detail about why that's important, because that's one of the central conversations we have to have as Bangladeshis. But when I'm writing songs, dude, it's a much more like instinctive thing.
Right.
It's just whatever feels right, whatever perks my interest. The more Bangla music I'm making right now is not because I want to be an ambassador for Bangladesh. It's because I really, really love Bangla music.
Wow.
And that's exactly what's perking my interest. I might suddenly really love something else, and maybe that'll change. Yeah. As this starts to become more professional and more of a serious thing, like I know I may have like less room to experiment, but I genuinely am so fascinated by Bangladeshi music traditions. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff, like from a completely technical standpoint, not from an emotional or anything like that. So many interesting things we can bring into new music that nobody is really bringing into it yet.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, you've... your first ever single that you kind of released was Easier, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So 2017?
Yeah.
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 And... well, it's been 5 years, and I think it's only this year, last year, you've started incorporating Bangla language in itself to some of your songs, right?
Yeah.
So it seems like you did wait at least a few years, I guess, to even incorporate the language in itself. But you've also kind of taken some elements of, as you mentioned, like traditional Bangladeshi sounds and technical identities and incorporate to your own sound, right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, why the wait, and more so, why the decision to then kind of go like, I want to bring in the flute, I want to bring in, Arnob's like inspiration, some of the stuff that he's done to your songs and so forth.
So, long story short, I don't know. Okay. It's sort of something that happened, but this is what I guess happened. I left Bangladesh when I was 16. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough to go to an English medium school and everything like that. A lot of the stereotypes are 100% true. A lot of English medium school kids for the longest time have been very, very insulated from a lot of Bengali culture. They are taught to idolize the West in many ways. And this is not the school's fault. This is everyone's fault. Right. Like, we can't be out here blaming the institutions. Like, they're just trying to teach kids. Like, they're just trying to educate people. Like, it's an everything thing. more than that, it's probably a parent thing. So I left Bangladesh thinking like, yo, like, let's go, we're in KL now, like মজা করবো, freedom হবে, এগুলো হবে. And how wrong I was. Because I left and I saw the state of Bangladeshi representation.
Right.
Outside. People know nothing about us, bro. And like, if they know anything, they know about all of the saddest
crap,
stuff.
yeah.
Or they like, they'll know about like Rana Plaza, they'll know about Tazrin, they'll know about like other stuff, they'll know about the pollution and stuff like that. Like, they know all of the worst stuff.
Yeah.
They don't know about our thousands of year old culture.
Yeah.
Bangladesh is 50 something years old, but Bengal is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. We were the center of so much civilization. We were the center in the Mughal period. We were the center in even the British period in many ways. They started out of Kolkata. So we have been the center of Indian subcontinental culture for so long. Buddhism started in Bengal in so many ways. I was just like awestruck as I started to like go outside of Bangladesh and see that people were giving me. I faced a lot of racism in Malaysia.
Okay.
I faced a lot of. I'll say it right here. Malaysia has a racism problem.
I think most brown countries do to an extent.
Yes.
We just haven't been able to.
Yes, because who built Kuala Lumpur? Brown people built Kuala Lumpur. Immigrant workers built Kuala Lumpur. Just like immigrant workers built the Gulf countries.
Yep. Same in
You
Malaysia
know,
and
it was
Singapore.
Bangladeshi sweat that built these skyscrapers where the CEOs sit right now.
Yeah.
And we have a terrible reputation in Malaysia. So many ways. Bangla is a slur in Malaysia.
Wow.
Bangla is a slur. I faced some terrible, terrible stuff. I don't know if I want to get into it, but I faced some terrible stuff, not only from friends and stuff like that and people around, but like on the internet and stuff like that. Like hate and stuff like that just for being Bangladeshi. So it's stupid stuff, and like it's so ironic because we go there, we build their cities, and you know, this is what we get out of it. And even I say we with extreme like caution because it's not we. Again, like I need to recognize that like I was fortunate enough to go there, you know, in a completely different capacity. We need to do something about this because immediately after that, I was like, you know, like I wasn't even in the like too brown for the white kids, too white for the brown kids thing. I was something else completely. It was a different limbo where it's like, I don't know who I am.
Right.
What makes me Bangladeshi? You know, is it the religion? Is it the language? Is it the skin color? Is like, what is, there's so many demographic like categories you could call it under, but it's more than that. Being Bengali is more than that. And it's all at the tip of our tongue, but we are yet to immortalize it in many ways, in writing, in art, in many ways like that. I mean, in the modern age, at least, like in 2023. So
yeah, I mean, for you then to then kind of think like, okay, you know, I am facing some sort of not an identity crisis, but a lot of questions about who I am, my culture, and so forth. And then, essentially, when you're making music, it's such a personal. It comes from a very personal space, right? Because you're writing about distance, you're writing about, you know, heartbreaks and all that. How do you then kind of combine the two or incorporate the two in a way where, because that is also part of you, and it seems like you're very passionate about being
so that's exactly what changed. So like then I was like, you know, like I was like, yo, if you guys like don't respect Bangladesh enough, like I'm gonna show you.
Got it.
But then I was like, oh, I don't know anything. I need to do my own homework. I don't know enough about.
Kid.
I didn't know about like our musical history itself in many ways. I didn't know about our arts and culture history in many ways. I didn't know about a lot about our political history. I didn't know about it, and also like pre-71 stuff. So then I started going back into it, doing my research, learning all about Bengal. And dude, my mind was blown. Like it was just absolutely blown, and I couldn't wait to incorporate it into my music, specifically baul music. Baul music I found, really enticing because like the rhythm of it was different, and the melodies and stuff were different, but particularly the lyrics, because it has traditions in like in Sufism and stuff like that. It was so philosophical. I had not heard Bengali language music be so philosophical. I have some songs, some baul songs I heard, or some baul performances I saw on YouTube or whatever, and it brought me to tears because I'd never seen or heard the Bangla language sung with such spiritual, divine passion.
Right.
So I don't even know if I could emulate 1% of it, but that's what inspired me.
Right.
And then I made Bashbo Bhalo,
Right.
which was me. So Amar Jaan was my the first song. Amar Jaan I released, like, it was one of the first batch of songs that I released.
Yeah.
So Amar Jaan was there from early. Amar Jaan was sort of like, I made a bunch of English songs. I'm like, Bangla gana ekta likhtei hobe.
Yeah.
But that was more of just like a challenge. Like that was, again, I wrote that before anything had happened.
Right.
So I was just doing this for fun. So I thought ekta mojar jinish hobe, ami verse English korle, chorus Banglate korle. And now it's one of my most successful songs. People really love it. And it's great because, like, the white folk love it, the brown folk love it. Like, it's
a perfect Venn diagram.
Yeah, and the Bangla chorus is simple enough that, like, foreigners can sort of at least mime along to it or something. But yeah, and then I made Bashbo Bhalo, and it was like, it was like influenced and inspired by Bangla music in many, many ways.
Right.
I don't know how much of it actually ended up in the song. Like, again, that's for other people to decide. Like, I hate making judgments on my own music. I just make the music. I let other people make their...
So it seems like a lot of realization came through after you moved out of Bangladesh. Now, my question for you is, if you didn't make the move, would you be who you are, or would you be still in that same insulated English medium?
Dude, it's like a counterfactual thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy that it ended up like this. A piece of me thinks that yes, it would still be the same because Dhaka has changed so much in the past few years. So as I would reach that age, 18, 19, I just turned 22. I'm 22 now. But that stage of realization happened when I was like 18, 19, 20. So tokhoni to Bangladesh, especially Dhaka, lots of new things were happening in Dhaka. I think especially 2020 onwards.
Sure.
I think that would have inspired me. Okay. I think that would have inspired me a lot. But yeah, it was a matter of, like, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm also very careful not to over-romanticize Dhaka.
Yeah.
Dhaka is a very tough place to live.
It is.
It is not an easy place to live. Bangladesh is not an easy country to live in. So I don't want to over-romanticize it. Our problems are serious.
Yeah.
And our problems need to be dealt with. But we are so defeatist.
Yeah.
We have such an inferiority complex. Screw that, man. Screw that shit. What are we doing? We're cool as hell, So we need to take the good with the bad. And move on with that.
That sounds about right. But to me, it seems like it would. Let me phrase it in the right way. To me, it seems like if you didn't move, you probably wouldn't be where you are. I think as you're talking, as I'm hearing you speak, it seems like a lot of your thoughts have, formulated while you were away.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of circles back to the idea of being distant from home.
100%. My EP is for We Are Distant.
That's right.
So that's what it was based around. And definitely, like, as I got into Poli-Sci also, because I got into it before I left for uni also, it was this thing about, like, people just changing stuff because they want to.
Right.
You want change to happen in society, you do it. You get up, you do it. You speak out, you make yourself heard however you want, and you just do it. That's how Bangladesh was born. How we literally got our liberation,
Yeah.
You have to get up and do it.
That's right. Look, I'm going to track back a little bit about something you just said.
Yeah.
You said that the lyrics to Bashbo Bhalo is simple enough so that even foreigners
Amar Jaan for that.
Sorry, Amar Jaan. That even foreigners can sing along to it, right? Yeah. Now, I find that very interesting because, like, the idea of lyrics in itself is such a debated topic in terms of, that, lyrics have to be more complicated and so forth. But it seems like because it was, and I don't know if it was intentional, that you wanted to make it simple for foreigners.
Was not intentional.
It was not, right?
No.
But it was simple enough that it kind of made its way to because the one of the most interesting part about your career is that you were famous outside of Bangladesh before you built a following in Bangladesh.
Sure.
So I find that very, very interesting. We'll get into that in a second. But when you're writing your lyrics, do you feel that you're thinking about these things at all? Because, of course, with the new, and then you're very modern in the sense, you're on TikTok, you're on social media, you've got a whole campaign plan, and you've got a manager and all that.
Yeah.
When you're writing music, how much of those things influence your work and your lyrics and everything else?
Yeah. I think it's a similar thing to, like, the performance itself. Yeah. So, like, Someone once gave me a very good advice. I went for vocal coaching lessons for a little bit in Canada.
Yeah.
And my vocal coach said something really interesting. He said, rehearsal or like preparation, thinking, all of this is for rehearsals. You think of all of this, everything that could wrong, everything you have planned, everything you want to say, how you want to sing this part, it's all for the rehearsals. But when you get on stage, you can't doubt a single decision.
Right.
You need to throw it all away, and you need to just be there in the moment. So when I'm not writing music, I'm constantly thinking about this, because this has grown to an extent that I don't want to lose this. I want to keep this going. I'm so fortunate to be in this position. I'm not going to give this up. I'm going to work 10 times as hard now to keep this going. But when I sit down with a pen and paper to write the song, then I forget about it. Hopefully, I've internalized so many of those things already that it will show up in the songwriting. But when I am writing the song, it's a purely artistic mindset. It's a completely different mindset.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I think that's the best way to be a creative in a lot of ways, because you're kind of distancing yourself away from it. But does it, like, do you ever struggle too? Because it just seems like, because, you know, like even the best, you know, the number one songs on Spotify or whatever have become what they are because of a following from TikTok, for example, or because 30 seconds or 10 seconds people can make a dance move out of, and that's pushing the numbers and so forth. So does it ever play in your mind that, you know what, I might have to kind of change a little bit to favor some of the algorithm or some of the crowd and all that kind of stuff?
Of course, because it's not only like it's a I'm scared I'm going to fall behind thing. Because if everyone else is doing it, you know, the world is not going to give you some like pity views and be like, oh, tumi organically korso, ekta million view diye disi. It doesn't work like that. Other people are going to usurp you. They're going to you know, if you don't do it. So it was more of a like, I'm scared. Like, again, I'm so lucky to be in this position. I don't want to let it go. I want to do everything in my power to sustain this for the rest of my life. So of course you have to get on TikTok. During my songwriting, it's definitely affected me. Like, the thing is, though, every time, I'm not going to lie, I've definitely sat down and thought from a marketing perspective. I know I just said that, like, you throw it out. Every now and then, like, I have tried of being like, okay, let me try to write a hit, you know, or something like that, you know? It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work like that. Maybe it works, but I'm too inexperienced. I haven't been doing this for that long, so maybe in 10 years and 15 years, after I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs, I'll have that the formula. Exactly. Maybe something like that. But I have not released nearly enough music to have that instinct. Every time I try to write a song for commercial things, it always ends up shit. Like, it never ends up good. So every time a song comes to me, or I have an idea or something like that and everything, that's when it turns out great. Like, Bashwa Bhalo, I wrote, produced everything, like, in, like, I wrote it maybe in like less than 30 minutes. I produced it in probably less than like 2 hours. Like, when something works, it just works like that. And there are other songs that I've been like picking away at for years and years and years, and they're still not there. So
sounds like you've got a big catalog waiting.
I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff that I'm very excited to show the world, but I'm not ready to show it until it's perfect. But I'm also not a perfectionist. Like, I have a low bar for perfection. You know, I want things to be perfect, but I have a far lower bar for perfection than a perfectionist.
Got it.
Good enough is perfect.
Makes sense. And that's the way it should be. I think if you're waiting to fix every single, you know, like corners or dotting the I's and then crossing the T's, it's gonna, it'll never see the light of the day. So so you're right. Now, look, I want to kind of switch gear here again and talk about audience and reception, and because it feels like you have built a very cool cult following to an extent, and I don't know if it's through TikTok or Instagram, but it's probably a mix of those things. And obviously, you know, you've got the substance, which is the songs itself, to be able to get to that level. But as I mentioned, like you started off with Majestic Casual, the label, or more, I guess, the early days of YouTube. They were the place to find cool new music, and I think you ending up there, because when I first saw, like, this Bangladeshi dude is on there, like, that was, again, for me, a credibility take. But now I think that's kind of dying off as well.
I left them. I'm independent now. I'm not with them anymore. I've been independent for like a year now. So no, it was, but like, you know how here's another thing. Anybody listening to this, like, you know how I got that deal? I emailed them. Like anybody can do this. People are like, oh, tumi bideshe giye ye korso. Like, ওখান থেকে I've learned other things from there, and I'm looking for that. But like I email them, like find someone you want to send music to, do your research. I was like, what is the best way to get my music out there? During that era, the music curation channels on YouTube were still popping. They've died down a bit now, but like they were, everything back then still. So I would just send them. I've been sending Majestic demos for like 4 years.
Wow.
I don't know, 4 years or 2 years or something like that. But basically, I'd been sending them demos for a very, 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 very long time. And
non-stop, like just
and they were all different songs.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you knew my music before I started doing the singer-songwriter stuff, but I was making like beats, I was making house music, trap music, stuff like that.
A lot of it on SoundCloud.
All of it on SoundCloud. If you look through my DMs for Majestic, you'll see a bunch of unanswered messages. And then finally I sent them Easier, and they're like, okay, send this here. But interesting thing is, Easier, they didn't want to sign Easier.
Right.
They just wanted to they just wanted to sign the song.
Right.
পরে যে project হয়েছে, record deal হয়েছে, ওটা পরের জিনিস. How that happened হচ্ছে, like I also then made the music video for Easier.
Right.
And that was a massive push because we made that music video completely independently. Me, Taha Ismail, and my two friends, Saif and Shagrika. But I think that music video really, really changed their perspective.
Sure.
And then I sent them more songs, and like way after that I got the deal. But it was like that music video made a big effect. But like I stayed with them for a while, but like, dude, like I'm grateful for everything they've given me. They were amazing for me. I have my career because of them in many ways. But what I'm trying to do from this Bangladeshi perspective, I want to move from Dhaka outwards. I don't want to be one of those people that blows up in America and then Bangladesh is like, hey, America
got it.
No, like I want to start from Bangladesh outwards.
Right.
I need to consolidate my country first, my country people first. Then from abroad, because honestly, abroad is where the money is. The music industry is seriously underdeveloped in Bangladesh in a laundry list of ways. But like I need to do it from Bangladesh first, and that's when I was like, I can do a lot of this myself, and like and these guys were all from Berlin. They don't know anything about Bangladesh.
That's
like bless their souls, they don't know jack shit about Bangladesh. So I needed to do it myself.
No, it's and a couple more questions will sprout from that. The first one being that, okay, so now that you got your, I guess, in the Majestic Casual channel, and then obviously their existing followers got to listen to your music, and that was kind of the same time I stumbled upon your work as well. What was it like kind of seeing not Bangladeshi's kind of vibe with your song at the time? Because that would have been a big push, because I know you kind of shifted that whole strategy now that you want to work from in to out, but essentially, like I said, it seems like the start was always out to an extent.
Here's the thing though, if you look through my analytics, you'll see 80-90% of my audience is in Bangladesh.
Oh really?
The overwhelming majority are Bangladeshi. They're not
now
foreigners.
Or
always.
Oh wow.
Always.
That's interesting.
In the very beginning, but here's the interesting thing about like streams and stuff. Like you could get put on a big playlist and you'll get a bunch of streams, but you're not making fans.
Right.
You're not necessarily making fans. Like you might, but like you're not necessarily making fans. So like the first bit of my career, we did a lot of great stuff. We marketed in a lot of Western markets. A lot of that money was pointless because organically most of it came from Bangladesh.
Got it.
So I got streams from like places I got on, Majestic and stuff, and like there were some nice comments and stuff like that, but I don't know how many fans I made.
Right.
Genuine, like Damir fans. Like I want to see more from these people, and all of those earlier songs were English songs. So there was less of an effect of like white people listening to Bangladeshi music for the first time. That happened first with like Amar Jaan and Bashmo Bhalo.
Right.
And by the time Amar Jaan and Bashmo Bhalo were done, like I was sort of like leaving the label setting. I think Amar Jaan was released under Majestic, so that was like a big thing. But like we didn't release Amar Jaan on their channels. Like we released Amar Jaan on my
but
channel.
It seems like ultimately, okay, so what does success look like then for you? Because it seems like, say, for traditionally a lot of the bands and artists in Bangladesh, the ceiling is Bangladesh. Right. You had some, like I said, even if it's 80% Bangladesh or 90% Bangladesh, you still have 10 to 20 that is outside of Bangladesh. That are not Bangladeshis. And I think that's an important distinction that you have, right? Because, say, other artists would have people from like US, Canada, but they are the Bangladeshi diaspora.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So for you, I didn't think that was the case at the start.
Yeah.
So for a lot of the people, success or like blowing up or I guess international recognition would be then to have non-Bangladeshi folks listen to Bangladeshi music. And it seems that you're in a prime position to be able to do that either through your prior or start of the career or where you're right now, right?
Yeah.
So is that still kind of what you're leaning towards, or is it more like building the ceiling?
I want to be world famous, bro.
Right.
I want to be world. I want to be the first. We have never had an international breakout artist from Bangladesh. I aim to be the first.
Right.
That is my dream.
And what does that look like? So what does that entail?
So I'm figuring that out right now. Isn't like what it's going to look like, because it's never been done before. I can make it what I want it to.
Yeah.
Like if it's going to happen, like it's going to happen how I want it to.
Right.
Central thing to this is to talk about the mythology of Bangladesh. Not the story of it, not the legend of Bangladesh, the mythology of Bangladesh. What that means is like, we have legends here. We have, characters, be it, be it Base Baba Shumon, be it like Begum Rokia. Like we have, we have legends. Like we have characters in there that are part of like, culture now.
Sure.
They're similar, like Bangladeshis see legends similarly in like other parts of the world.
Yeah.
যে bro Steve Vai একটা ওস্তাদ বা এরকম বা ইংল্যান্ডে এরকমের ব্রায়ান মে একটা ওস্তাদ এরকম like we just think about people like that. That same level of respect, that same level of like wonder that people have for heroes abroad, I want people to have that same amount of respect for our heroes.
Got it.
So the way we have idols here, I want them to be idolized by everyone.
I mean, and by that you mean globally, right? Not just in Bangladesh.
By globally.
Got it.
By globally. Which is like, I don't know what that means. Like I don't even know what that means.
Because as you're saying it again, and I think this is an important discussion to have, because it seems like a lot of us, a part of us is like, why do we have to appease or like, make other non-Bangladeshi or like white people like our stuff? Like, why do we need their approval?
Their validation,
But it seems like if we want to go beyond what we have been doing, that's an important step to an extent. Like it has to break the ceiling of Bangladesh and then eventually spread across.
But issue is we don't have that story. So why I say characters, because they're characters in a story.
Yeah,
they're characters in a myth. We don't have a story. We don't have that elevator pitch.
Right.
What are we? Okay, we fought for our war. We are, mostly like, again, like Islam is the major thing that we've categorized us under. I say this again from a purely poli-sci perspective. That's literally how we, became. We have other religions here. Yeah. We have other cultures here. There are different kinds of Islam within Bangladesh. Yeah. So what are we? We are also confused. What are we? Are we this first? Are we that first? So we need to tell our myth. I think the myth has to start pre-71. 71 is a very important chapter. Yeah. But has to start pre-71. I wanted to start particularly like the Mughal era.
Right.
Really, 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 really fascinates me. Starting from there, being like Bengal was an epicenter of culture, an epicenter of trade, an epicenter of literature, philosophy, mathematics, physics in many ways also, but particularly in the arts, particularly in literature, poetry, philosophy, music, everything like that. Of course, furthermore, in fashion, in textile production.
And I was going to say, I think the only way that some, I guess, people are doing it here, like for example, the clothing demo from Dhaka, right?
Yep.
I mean, you've worked.
Guess who made this?
There you go.
They made this from Dhaka. Incredible people.
Unplanned plug-in, but it is. We had to mention, because you mentioned like the Mughal era, and they do a lot of the storytelling based on that whatever you're talking about, right? Now, that's only one of the things that you can potentially do, but how do you do that with your own music, right? Like, unless you're, I don't know, Iron Maiden talking about the days of yore, or a metal band talking about the myth.
Basically, like I don't even know if I want to. Like I don't even know if I want to be a major character in
then
this.
That becomes like, how does it then like?
Yeah, dude, I want to do my own thing. Because like here's the like I have a very, very musical brain. Like I think musically in many ways, and the good thing about this is that like the other stuff, like the Deshprem stuff, doesn't always come in. I naturally love Bengali music.
Right.
So Bengali influence ashbe naturally. Right. Whether I play a part in this or not, like, is a different thing. The songs need to be good. The campaigns need to be good. Everything, that's a completely different project. Yeah. I want to play a small role in, again, like bringing the Bangladeshi story to a grander stage. Not only, but again, like we've just spoken a lot about like how we're going to present it to other people, but we need to present it to ourselves in many ways. Young people in Bangladesh themselves have an identity crisis. They all identify themselves through negative categories and stuff like that, where we should be seeing ourselves as, at the front end of history in a train that has been running for a very, very, very long time. Yeah. We need to be prouder of who we are. Whether I play a part in that, we'll see. But I want to see it for myself. Even if my music fails completely, I want to see a Bangladesh that is thriving culturally. Because we are thriving economically, we are thriving in other ways, we need to thrive artistically. And I think we might just be at a precipice of a Bangladesh renaissance.
No, I agree. I agree to an extent. All right. Now, look, another thing I want to talk about are music videos.
Yeah.
So it seems like I think you mentioned why you did the easier video. And then it seems like you've put a lot of thought and effort and money into making really good music videos over the years, right? Why the decision to start with?
It was not planned. Again, for a lot of the things that I come up with, it was not planned. But I'm very, very passionate about film. Very, 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 very passionate about film. I make film music. I watch tons of film. I'm very, very passionate about film. Hopefully, I might direct one day, maybe. I don't know. But it's really important. Music videos add so much more to a song. Music videos are so much more than a marketing thing. Sure. It's such an opportunity to bring your song to a next level. Amar Jaan would be nothing without the music video. It would just not hit the same. That music video and that song are interlinked forever.
Right.
And that was such a wonderful accident, that wasn't planned.
I mean, even the Bajul Hall music video from
was also an accident.
I spoke to Pilu Bhai after, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't meant to do it. It was supposed to be you." But
I got COVID.
And the thing is, I think if it were you, I probably wouldn't have connected as much because the lyrics go so much well with him on it.
Yes. So the other thing also, when I was in Malaysia, Malaysia has a really, really good filmmaker scene. Like there's some really, really talented filmmakers in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And we got two amazing videos, Sun and Believe. Sun was directed by Nelson Chong, and Believe was directed by Adam Sinclair. Both amazing people.
Both great videos.
Nelson has gone on to do incredible things. Also, Mandy Gyo was also involved, and Mandy Gyo co-directed it. And Adam Sinclair is already like a G. Like he's an absolute don. He's been killing it. So I'm honored he did something with me. But we just had two incredible directors and who were willing to do something with an artist they've never heard of before, and we just got great opportunities. So we got great music videos out of that. But my ideas for my songs were very clear. I know exactly what I want to talk about. I know exactly what my songs are about. So when I had a great relationship with the filmmakers because I could communicate what the song was about clearly, and they could represent that, on film to the best of their ability. Then Amar Jaan was a happy accident. Amar Jaan, I asked Farooq Bhai for his wedding footage. I asked a bunch of people for his wedding footage. And it was okay. It was all HD camera footage.
Sure.
And I was like, Baba, do you by any chance have your wedding footage? And he's like, give me a second. And we were in Malaysia by then. We'd already moved houses by then.
Wow.
And he goes into his closet and he brings out a VCR tape in mint condition.
Incredible.
It's been in his closet for 25 years.
Wow.
I'm sure he did not expect his son would make a music video out of it.
And the whole world has seen it.
And I went to the middle of nowhere to get it converted into an MP4.
Yeah.
And we got 3 hours of their wedding footage.
Wow.
And we condensed it into 2-something minutes.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
We made a music video.
Awesome. I want to talk about again just the audience side of things again.
Yeah.
Now it seems like this year you have been getting a bit more outside of your audience that you started off with, right? And I think that has come with certain criticisms, certain viral clippings, to say the least.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you've already faced a lot of kind of backlash and stuff purely for racial reasons in Malaysia and stuff. Yeah. But this is different kind
totally
of breed,
different,
right?
Totally different.
So for you though, how has that been? And first of all, how do you deal with that kind of stuff?
Dude, so to any viewers who don't know the context of it, there's this clip of me at my first show at Jatra Biroti, and there's this little part where I sing exceptionally off tune in a little bit. And that little clip of it went kind of viral. And just people were making fun of like me not being able to sing. Bro, I know I can sing. Right. Here's what happened at the show. It was my first ever show. Yeah. And when everybody was singing Amar Jaan, I started crying.
Right.
I was like, what the hell is happening? It was one of the greatest moments of my life. I was absolutely like shaken. A room full of kids singing Amar Jaan. Not just kids, all sorts of ages. Singing Amar Jaan. And I started crying. Of course I'm a Bishar. I'm not ashamed about that. I'm so happy I cried. That night was electric. Ask anyone who went to that show. Everyone had a great time. Ektu beshar hole I don't give a shit because because I know I can sing and my show at ICCB was coming up. So I was just like, tomra wait karo. Tomra dekho show te ki gaye. Tomra bujhba. I was not afraid at all. In fact, I was just like, ektu para khaislam, of course. Right. It's not nice to hear. But I was excited because like I know I can sing. I have no doubt that I can sing. So like I was like, you guys are about to see. I'm about to prove all of you wrong, and it's gonna feel really awesome. And that's exactly what happened.
And I guess a lot of the criticism that modern day musicians get is the use of autotune and so forth, or even the fact even if you do sing. Say on tune, they'll say, "Oh, it's obviously autotune and stuff like that." Now, I guess what's your take?
I've never used autotune.
Sure.
At least I think like I have the autotune plugin now.
Yeah.
I may have used it in some bits now, but like in a not in like I'm not like T-Pain. I'm not like Chris Brown like doing something like that. And also, everybody uses autotune.
Yeah.
Everybody. Exactly who you think does not use autotune uses autotune. Yeah. Especially in South Asia, especially in the Indian subcontinent. You name me one Indian hit song that doesn't have autotune on it. And if you think it doesn't have autotune, you're wrong. It does have autotune. Like, trust me, I'm willing to bet money on it. Like, it has autotune. I don't see a problem with it. I think some people who are like, yeah, it's just like a creative skill. Like, it's not like... I think they're not like completely right. I think I'm more on their end. Like, no, autotune doesn't make you a bad singer. But like... It definitely smooths blemishes, but like it's not ruining music, I don't think. And the thing is, like, don't blame the artists for this stuff. Artists are all broke trying to feed themselves. Like, if they're making any decisions, it's probably because they have to. I'm not saying at the grand scale now that autotune is a massive thing and it's like in all the major labels are using it, all the major artists are using it and stuff like that. I don't know. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't blame the artists, like, blame the labels. Like, blame the businessmen, blame the people like that, blame the, like, blame stuff like that. Like, like, don't blame the artists. Like, every artist you hate, even, I have so much more respect for artists that, like, traditionally get a lot of hate. Like, Imagine Dragons, or, like, like...
Nickelback.
Creed, or stuff like that. Like, they get a lot of hate.
Yeah, Nickelback as well.
Nickelback, like, bro, like, they're not trying to piss you off. Like, people take it so personally. Like, nobody is going out of their way to piss you off. They're all artists, and they're all trying to do their own thing. I hate Imagine Dragons music. I cannot stand their music. But I have the utmost respect for them. They have been selling out stadiums for longer than I've been able to, And
I think it's such a clear distinction that you just made, because I agree. I'm not a big fan of Imagine Dragons either. And then also for so many... Like, a lot of music that's coming out, I... don't listen to the music. I don't necessarily like it. But I understand that there is perhaps a market for it that I'm not a part of it. But I guess, where do you then draw the line of what is a quality piece of music to you? So when you say something, okay, so this is quality, how do you then, like I guess, explain? Right? Like, what is quality music to you?
So I see two metrics. Right. One is like quality and one is enjoyability. Or like, quality is the wrong word. One is like maybe like merit and one is enjoyability. And these are two things that sometimes overlap, but sometimes they don't. There are some songs that I love, I listen to all the time, that are trash songs. I will be the first to admit that they are trash songs.
Got it.
And it's not even like I used to listen to this in my childhood and it's etched in my memory. There's lots of songs like that are trash songs that I love just because I used to listen to them a lot when I was 13. Yeah. But there are tons of songs that I found the other day that I just love because it just does something for me. I don't know. I can't explain it. It does something for me. But some songs are dense. Some songs, you keep getting more out of them. Some songs get better as you listen to them. Some songs make you realize something about yourself, make you think of, sometimes you listen to the song and maybe you're like, maybe I should call my mom.
Right.
Sometimes you listen to a song and it's like, maybe I should have said sorry to that person. Some songs make you a better person. Some songs make you a worse person. Some songs have the ability to change your philosophical makeup. And there's some songs that you just enjoy, that you dance to.
Yeah.
Some songs change your philosophy on life. That is where I see like the quality, I guess, that you said.
Right.
There are some songs, like, I think the best kind of music is classical music.
Got it.
I think classical music is the best kind of music because you get the most out of it. I think folk music is also has a shout. Folk music is the best music in some way. Best music because I think it has the most ability to like change your life philosophy. You know, but I'm not gonna turn on, you know, Mozart at the function, bro. I'm not an idiot. Like, you know, like there is a very
New Year's Eve DJ set.
Exactly.
featuring
Put on
Mozart.
some Schoenberg on 31st. Like, fuck that. But like there's a world for enjoyability music, especially in a capitalist world where you need to make money. Of course, and then there's some songs that are enjoyable and will make you want to be a better person. Kendrick Lamar is one of the highest grossing artists in the world, and Kendrick Lamar's music will make you want to get lit and be a better person.
Right.
Like that. Like that's crazy. It's not easy to do that. Like it's extremely hard to do.
So I guess a lot of it is subjective to a point from how the individual
Yes.
sees it.
Yes, but I'm also not like a subjectivist.
Right.
Like I'm not everything is real. Like no. Like there is some.
There's some
sensitiveness.
level
Yeah,
of comprehensive. And
There's some
complexity.
subjectivity. There's some objectivity, but it's not all is not
Got
subjective.
it. I'm totally on board with you on that one.
Yeah.
Now, I guess you mentioned about making money as a musician, stuff like that. Now, how hard is it to make money?
Very
as a
hard.
musician?
It's almost impossible. It's very, very, very hard, especially in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Bangladeshi music has a liquidity problem. It has dude, like so many of Bangladesh's legends, like legendary people, have passed away broke. Have been on their deathbeds with zero begging for money sometimes. These are people that we sing along to today, long after they're gone. If we treat our artists like this, like how can we have any respect for ourselves, right? And again, this is like it's very important that I make this distinction that like I'm not blaming every one person. Everyone is at fault right now. I blame everyone equally. Who's been in the music industry, I blame everyone. I blame the companies. I blame the artists too. It's very hard to make money from music. Streaming is an issue because streaming pays very little. During COVID, you saw how important live touring and gigging is for everyone. This is my first time doing a line of gigs. Let me tell you guys, it is not physically easy to play shows that often. This is not an office job. Office jobs are tiring in a different way. Yeah. Getting up on stage, having stage presence, practicing, speaking all the time, singing all the time, doing stuff like this, it requires a very high level of physical exertion. So people are like, oh yeah, okay, play shows, you make money. It's not easy to keep playing shows. The burnout and depression are very, very rampant in the touring industry. Very rampant.
So, I mean, a lot of artists do intoxicate themselves prior to getting on stage.
Of course. Why are all these drugs part of the touring life? Yeah. Because, like, of course, a part of it. And, dude, you're, like, working all day. People are around you all the time. If you are famous, then people are just... You can't have personal connections with the people around you. Like, you need a break. You need an out, you know? So people go into all sorts of dark stuff because of it. So it's like... it's crazy, man, because artists suck with money. Like, we don't care about money. We're all too, like, you know, like, everyone should enjoy everything, but, like, it's art and capitalism don't go together. I'm forcing it. Artists are forcing it. They don't belong together. I'll be the first one to say this. Capitalism and music do not belong together. Right. It doesn't make sense. So where we are is a matter of how we've organized ourselves as a society. But, like, particularly for Bangladesh, I see a lot of changes happening now, particularly and again, I'll speak for Dhaka. I don't know about the other cities, but like in Dhaka, we're starting to see a culture of like paying for shows now, right? Much more than it was before. And we're seeing artists who are asking for much higher prices now. Right. And that's a good thing. Artists are getting paid what they deserve now. And they're straight up like, if you don't give us that, we're not going to play for you. And that's great. You need to have that diva mentality. You have to be a diva. Because the businessmen will like, dude, even as I grow up, I hate businessmen less now. Because there's a thing, like, of course that's what they're going to do. Like, what do you expect? That's their job. They need to make things cheap and make money. Like, you know? like, yes, you can be an asshole about it, but the core philosophy like makes sense. Like, why are you surprised they're trying to get you for cheaper? That's their job. You need to be just as much of a diva. You need to be just as like aware of what you need, and you need to know your value. You need to believe in yourself.
Got it.
And I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it.
Most artists are,
But,
actually.
you know,
Most
start
creatives
somewhere.
are.
Yeah.
Now, would you say then that's the hardest thing about making music or making art is just making money, or do you think
100%.
it's the public backlash?
100%. Like, making a good piece of art is almost easy sometimes compared to like
Making money
paying
off
your
of it.
bills and not hating yourself.
Yeah.
Because of the work you sometimes have to do to pay the bills. But I don't know, man. I'm figuring it out. Let's see how I do. I am like, everything I say, people should take it with a grain of salt because I'm very inexperienced in this industry.
Sure.
I've not been doing this for long. I'm technically, I'll be completely straight up right now. Like, I'm not living off of music right now. So I don't even know what I'm talking about to a large extent. This is through knowing many people who have been living off of music for a very long time, having a very vast community of musician and artist friends, both here and in the West. And it's very, very, very difficult. But let's see how I figure it out. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's such a paradox as well, because it seems like it's always been that way for so long. Even pre-Spotify, pre-internet, like artists being able to make money has been only the top 1%. Gets to do it.
It's a winner
right?
take all thing.
Exactly. It's and
yeah, it's like there's money in the music industry. It's just that Drake gets 60% of it. So.
Now, what about like, and Drake gets a lot of hate as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's the whole meme culture, and you know, I mean, he did share a very good recipe with Fantano, so I think we have to be grateful for that. But in terms of you trying to deal with, say, memes and stuff like that, because again, like I think this year I've seen a lot of that coming out. Towards you, aimed at you, and all that kind of stuff. How would you say like that in itself of being, I guess, in that meme culture and having those kind of stuff against you? How does that impact your work?
Dude, like 90% of the time it's in good faith. 90% of the time a meme that's made is by the mere fan.
Right.
And it's hilarious. I love it. I love it. I'm not afraid of being made fun of. Like, please make fun of me. I'll, like, you know. Like, I'd like to think I have an okay sense of humor. Like, please make fun of me. It's fine. Like, sometimes it's in bad faith, but even then, people are getting a laugh out of it. They might check out my music because of it. I get more out of that than the meme maker ever will.
I think that's so true because, and I brought it up because of Drake, because he probably makes like more of a mark on the metrics because people are memeing about his songs.
Dude, he's wiping his tears with $100 bills, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know. Got it. But most of the time it's in good faith. Most of the memes about me are really funny.
Right.
And I love them.
You talked about, you know, depression and stuff like that while touring, and this is a question that I ask a lot of creators, is that like when things are going okay, is it hard to make art?
When things are
going okay, is it hard to make art?
Like you need to be sad to make good art? Absolutely not. It's a really, really, really damaging message, and I don't like it. And it's particularly pertinent in music. You know, you have your Kurt Cobains and your Lil Peeps and stuff like that, and your X's and your Mac Millers and whatnot. Like, I'm not going to say it doesn't help your art. 120% you will make good art because of it. If you are really sad and you want an outlet, this is a small moment in time. Because most people are sad for a little bit and they're okay. There's a small chance you get to say something truly vulnerable.
Right.
And when people find your music when they're going through something else, they're much more likely to be a fan for a long time.
And they're likely to also heal from what they're going through because they can connect with someone else.
Exactly, dude. A lot of my songs are about really traumatic events. But that, like... I have written songs in a good mood also. I'm not saying that being in a bad mood will not make your songs good. I'm saying being in a good mood can also make your songs good.
Right.
You need to, however, like really work on your craft. You need to mature, and you need to like understand that like the mindset that you are writing the song in is not necessarily the mindset that your listeners are going to be listening to the song to.
Right.
So you need to get to that level where it's like, even if you're not feeling that, you need to make it a song that's going to click with people's mindsets regardless. It's a very dangerous idea to be... because here's the other thing too. I know a lot of like musicians who will get into like depressive state, and that's when they get into drugs and alcohol. And then they're like, oh, they think it's the drugs and alcohol
that helps them make art,
the up and down sort of like dynamic of like being really down and then like medicating yourself and stuff like that, and they think that's central to their creativity.
But it's just fucking them up.
It's just screwing them up.
So do you usually have like a routine that helps you practice creativity at all? Like, do you follow anything in particular? Because in traditional Bangladeshi culture, you know, there's the rewaz, there's like practice that comes with it and stuff like that. And have you picked any of that up from your family, or do you have anything of that sort at all?
Like, not really. I have like a good schedule. I have like with my manager, we have a good dynamic of like a work schedule, to-do list, stuff like that. We help each other stay on top of things. But creatively, I haven't really had to keep such a routine because making music is like 80% of what I do with my free time anyway. Like it's just what I love to do. So like in terms of like practice or staying sharp with stuff like that, that has never been an issue because it's what I do all the time. So yeah.
Okay. Do you get through creative ruts or blocks at all?
100%. Particularly like I struggle to write during a semester. I often have like big creative bursts like during a vacation or something like that. I really, really struggle to write during class just because I'm like overwhelmed and like, especially now, music in many ways has become work. Music is work for me now. So after I've done a whole day of work, the last thing I want to do is more work. But that's when I'll make like dance music. Where I'll make like a house beat or something like that. But yeah,
because you're also kind of transitioning to not transitioning per se, but you're also kind of exploring other things. So you've recently written for Moshari, the short by Nuhat, which is doing really, really well all around the world. And you've also been doing a lot of DJ sets, or at least experimenting with it. So why that decision to kind of do it on top of...
I love music, dude. What can I say? Like, I genuinely, like, it's freaky. Like, I just love it to an almost spiritual extent. I want to do it in every way, every capacity, every style, everything I want to try. I love it. I love everything about it.
How do you listen to how do you reach out for new music, essentially?
Many ways. I think the interesting thing about the algorithm age is that like you put yourself in some positions and then it feeds you more. So you follow the right people, you interact with the app in the right way, you engage with the right TikToks and the right everything and everything like that, and astastly the algorithm will understand you better. So through that, so because of that, I get a lot of great stuff just from my Discover Weekly on Spotify. I get a lot of great music from TikTok right now. From Instagram and stuff like that, YouTube and stuff like that. I'm not like I don't dig for vinyl or anything like that. So everything's on the internet. Social medias are very important. TikTok, I found some of my favorite music lately from TikTok.
But so it seems like you are a big proponent of the new age of social media for art. To an extent.
I'm a bit cautious. No, TikTok is unhealthy for you. It is. Like it's not good for you. But I've also found so many new good stuff from TikTok. I love TikTok and I love the interactions I have with my fans on TikTok. It's so much more engaging and they can give so much more input. They can make a video of my stuff and I can comment and I can make a video back and it's it's so much more interactive. It's so much more interactive.
Right. Who do you think are killing it in the Bangladeshi music industry right now?
So I have so in the music industry right now,
let's say for your favorites.
Like I've seen Fairuz play live a bunch of times. She's great. Saw her at Fuad live. She's doing some really cool stuff. Obviously Farooq Bhai, my good friend, my Bhai brother. He's one of the first people that ever saw anything in me. Farooq Bhai. There's some great hip hop happening right now. I saw who did I see at Fuad Live the other day? I think it was it Ali Hassan or Hassan Ali or something like that.
Right.
There's some great hip hop happening right now. I've been seeing a bunch of bands lately. I've seen Martian Love, False Cassettes,
pretty good.
Attic. And some people before them too. Like I haven't seen them live yet, but like I'm getting into Arekta Rock Band stuff. Who are great. My heroes particularly though are like Fuad. I think Fuad's a genius, like a genius. He's popular.
Yeah.
He's one of the most popular musicians ever. I think he's a genius.
He is. As a producer as well, this is incredible.
He's genius.
Yeah.
Obviously, Arnob.
Yeah.
Grew up on a lot of older stuff too. But yeah.
What about internationally? Anyone you're looking up to, or anyone listening to or vibing with?
Yeah. I mean, like, difficult to say. I can list it for the whole year.
Sure.
Lately, I mean, like, my favorite artists of all time have been, like, I really like Cleo Soul.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Muramasa. I really like Julian Lage. I listen to a lot of dance music. I probably listen to more dance music than anything else. I listen to a lot of, like, Fortet. I listen to a lot of, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, dude. And even in the diaspora, there's so many things happening right now. Obviously, Joy Crooks is killing it. Slime, who's a Bengali British artist from Sheffield.
Wow.
He's a song right now. Have you seen the song on TikTok, the Lenga song?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
He's Bengali,
I've seen the TikToks.
bro.
Oh, I had no
He's
idea.
Bengali. I've spoken to him before it
wow.
blew up and everything. He's such a cool guy.
I had
His
no
name is
idea
Slime with 2 eyes. So shout out him. I'd love to meet him one day. Like we spoke very briefly, but we don't like know each other.
Sure.
But like love to meet him one day. So happy for him. And yeah, you got all sorts of people. You got Lil Late in America. You got I just met this incredible DJ from Australia. Her name is Munasib. She's been in Dhaka lately.
Wow.
So she's great. I'm not sure if that's her artist name, but she's a great. There's the Daytimers in the UK, which is a DJ collective run by a bunch of the core members are Bengali. So there's that stuff. Even beyond music, Shomi Patwari has been killing the music video scene in America for
so long.
For as long as I've been alive. And, like nobody in Bangladesh knows about it. Like what the hell? He's one of the greatest Bengali artists ever. Bengali creatives ever.
Easily.
So there's him. There's like there's crap, I forget her name. There's like a Bengali really high up in like Mugler.
Aida Minaj.
Yes. I just found out about her the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, what? There's so many Bengalis. There are a bunch of like Bengali models.
She was on my podcast as well last season.
Wow, how about that, guys? Click the link here to check out that episode.
Not gonna do that.
Okay.
Description below.
In the description.
Too much work to put it on the actual video. So.
But there's so many Bengalis doing crazy stuff. Even outside of that, we got like boxers now. I saw an MMA guy the other day. There's like who's that bodybuilder going viral right now? I forget his name. But like so many cool people doing so many cool things.
Cool.
Yeah, completely straight off your initial
but
question.
Still, you've covered a lot of
just showing love, man. Lots of Bangladeshis doing crazy stuff everywhere. For sure. So proud of everyone.
Personal goal in 5 years.
The
existential question that always strikes people.
I don't know if it's I don't know 5 years, 10 years, how long this will take. Let me give you like life goals. I don't know about 5 years because so many things that happen in 5 years. I don't care about any of the accolades. Like it'll be great if I win a Grammy or something like that or whatever. But like I'm not, hinging my life on that. Like I don't care if I don't get those sorts of points of validation. In the long term, I want to, with my music, I want to release a full-length album. That's going to happen soon. Definitely within 5 years, I'll have released a full-length album, 100%. And I want to be the greatest. I want it to be the greatest album in Bangladeshi music history. And I want it to be a multimedia experience. I want it to be like the music videos are all films. The live show is going to be an absolute circus. Awesome. It's going to be nothing like this country has ever seen. Beyond that, I'd really love to set up a label here myself one day, record label. I want to help out artists here. I want to bring entertainment lawyers to Bangladesh.
Right.
Lawyers are some of the most important, if not the most important people in the entertainment industry, particularly for music. I want to bring lawyers here so artists are protected. I want to create a performing rights organization here, unions here, so artists get songwriting royalties. I have been played on the radio extensively. I have never earned a penny. From the radio. Amar Jaan is playing on the radio probably now somewhere right now. Right. I'm not earning any money. So that needs to change. That needs to change for everyone. I want to convince, there's a lot of money in Bangladesh. I want to convince people with money that like you invest in this, you're going to thank us for it. All right. This is for Bangladesh, this is for everyone. This will help everyone. Yeah. Not just the elites, like the government too. Be like, this is the new wave of Deshprem. If you invest in the arts, you will invest in Bangladesh. Beyond that, dude, like I just wanna I wanna explore the far reaches of music. I wanna explore my Bangladeshi identity, and larger than that, my South Asian identity. There's so much confluence of so many cultures here that expand far beyond South Asia, even to the Middle East. I love the Middle East. Like as a Poli-Science student, I've learned so much about the Middle East. We know it as one of those conflict-ridden areas, but it is so much more than that. It's so much more than a bunch of civil wars. Like of course it is. It feels stupid to even say it, but we take it for granted. So yeah, man, I want to develop the Bangladeshi music industry. And when it comes to my own music, like I don't even want to say it, like I don't want to jinx it. I want the work to speak for itself, but I have big, grand, massive dreams for my music. And I don't want to achieve it myself. I want to bring a village with me. I want to bring my whole crew with me, everyone. I want everyone to succeed together.
Perfect. Sounds awesome. Finally, for those who are listening in, aspiring musicians, aspiring creators and creatives who want to walk the path that you have started walking, what are 3 or even 1 big actionable step or steps that you can advise on?
First is uniqueness. Don't be jumping on trends and stuff like that unless you can add something that no one else has seen on it. Be like uniqueness is especially in our age of oversaturation, it is the most valuable asset. Obviously, if it's unique in a way that everyone hates, might be an issue, but uniqueness is important. The other thing is that there's this clip of like Tyler the Creator that goes viral every now and then that I really love, where he was like why are people afraid to market their music? Like why do you think some people think it's cringe to market? I'm not gonna get on TikTok, I'm too cool for TikTok. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like if you think your work is good, you need to put it out there. Would you not want someone to see it? Then you think your music is trash.
That's right.
If you're not putting your music out there, I'm assuming you think your music is trash. I might think your music is great, but I'm going to assume you have zero self-belief. You need to put your music out there. If everyone is putting their music out there, nobody's going to give you, you're not going to have a miracle, bro. Like you might, but don't depend on it. Put your music out there. If you don't want to get on TikTok, like fine, but like put your music out there. Some people don't upload their music, they don't do any of this. Like, ki korteso, bro? Like,
and then they're like, oh, nobody listens to my music.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it out. Don't worry about it. If it's trash, it's trash. The good thing is because it's out there, you now have accountability. Now, people, if you put something else out that's trash, people are definitely not going to listen to you. So you have to make the next one good. It gives you accountability. It gives you a baseline to work with. Third thing I will say is that don't be afraid to take your time. Music industry particularly is also very ageist. People are all blowing up at 16, 17 and stuff like that. When things started going for me when I was 16, 17, 18 and stuff like that. And a lot of words were thrown around. A lot of expectations were thrown around. And they were all bullshit. Like, take your time with it because it will make you a better artist. Like, it's better that you live through your teens and early 20s or all of your 20s, maybe your 30s. Screw it, maybe your 40s, But like, that life you have lived is things to make art with.
Right.
Those are experiences to make art with. So, like, if you've crossed the line, like, you haven't crossed the line, period. No matter what age you are, you haven't crossed the line. But take your time with it because if you rush things... and all of these things are connected because you can't rush things, but you need to have the level of self-belief to be able to release it when it's right. It's an instinctive thing.
For sure.
I don't know who said it. It was Da Vinci or something, or like, someone. One of those old white people. It was like, art is not finished, it is abandoned.
Right.
You need to know when to abandon your work because it will never be finished.
So true. Yeah. Good stuff. Damir, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate the time.
I'm so happy we did this.
We didn't get to talk about United, but...
Yeah, man, I'm so happy we finally got to meet, man. You've been supporting me for so long, and I appreciate it immensely. Every morsel of support means everything to me, so thank you so much.
Thank you for putting your work out there. Appreciate it. Thanks again for doing this. This should be it for today. Thanks, man.
Nice, bro.
Appreciate doing the fist bump.